mountains. So Banff goes to the east. We're going west here. We're going toward Lake Louise right now. There's a sign that says Lake Louise. Would you believe? Lake Louise. And that's Highway 1 down there. We're going to travel on that again for a while. 4-lane road here. It says Lake Louise. Lake Louise, 25 kilometers. Right up into those clouds. I wonder what river this is now. Is it still a Kootenai? I'll have to look it up on the map, won't I?
Headwaters.
No W.
I don't understand the little green color.
I don't either. It's interesting.
Lake Louise Lodge here, possibly. I don't know.
Glacier, a glacier up there, whatever it is. This is welcome to Lake Louise.
Information up there, can't get over it.
Going up to the lake right now. So 4 kilometers. And what is 4 kilometers in miles there? The road here. We're going to see what has been known as beautiful Lake Louise, and from people that we've talked to that have seen it just recently, it lives up to all of its expectations. And that's the glacier, right? I've got that on the film some, but it's so difficult. I've got to take it though, just on the chance that it will come out. Hopefully it will. The mountains around here are absolutely gorgeous. Lots of people hiking up here. This is at Moraine Lake. It's a smaller lake. It's supposed to be very beautiful also, but we probably won't go to see it. It has been recommended for us to see, but if we see Lake Louise, we're going to be more than happy. This is Deer Lodge. And that must be Chateau Louise over there. Yes, that's Chateau Louise right there, and those are the glaciers right up there. There should be, it's only
1:30. What an exciting, gorgeous place. This is Lake Louise. see out the back of the glacier sitting out there? And if we were here, oh, here she is over here.
Am I taking the lake in the background?
Yeah. There you go. And we'll get her with the glacier too. There you go. All right. This is sitting on a terrace of the Lake Louise Chateau.
We're at a summer resort or something.
Well, that's right.
There's the lunch.
So is she quite a ways across the lake there?
The more the better. I'm just going to take a little bit of this because this is very, very bumpy, but this is a switch from the usual pattern today. This road is very bumpy, as you can tell. It's 1A. It's just a little side road here that we're going to connect to the main road, but it's a real mountain road. We're going over to the Columbia ice fields right now.
Up to 332 feet. This is called Kicking Horse Pass. Alberta, British Columbia. Alberta, Canada. Alberta, British Columbia.
Part of Helen Lake.
This is Bull Lake.
This is Bull Lake? Well, then that must have been Bull Lake there too, that lake. lake must be out going the other way.
Looks like whipped topping on top.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? The road here. We're approaching the Columbia ice field area. Got almost a complete circle here at this level. We're going to suddenly start climbing over here. There's our road over there. There's the road that we just left. Valley that we just through. It's a charter bus. Over there?
Could be.
It almost would seem like it, wouldn't it?
Could be.
Sure is a mess of them. Yes, they have a chalet here. Yeah.
There's a bus, there's a shuttle bus right there. So, but it's fine.
trip on the Athabasca Glacier, go about a mile out in the ice. Anyways, in a metric, it's about 1.5 kilometers out. It's what we call a turnaround climb. Warming trend. So it is very cyclic, and these glaciers are responding accordingly. Now, in the future, possibly, if there is a global warming, the glaciers will obviously be affected. But up to about this point in time, the signs point to otherwise. Now, since we came down off the lateral moraine, off the hill, we've been on the ice. This field is a very large body of ice. It encompasses an area of about 325 square kilometers. That's about 130 square miles. So this large body of ice cools the air sitting above it. On a warm, sunny day like today, down in the valley, as the daytime heating increased, that warm air started to rise. We call it convective activity. While the cold, dense air sitting over this large body of ice, it's the melting process. However, if you get too much dirt in the ice, the opposite will happen. It will insulate the ice. So periodically, you're going to see little mounds of dirt sitting out here. And all that's happened is just too much dirt got on that particular part of the ice. It insulated it. The surrounding ice melted back a little bit more. Now this glacier is an extension of Mount Andromeda on the right. And our second glacier on the left, they're very spectacular, coming off of Mount Andromeda. Well, that is known as a cirque glacier. Now, cirques are synonymous with carving out basins or bowl-shaped formations in the mountaintop. And you can see that very distinct basin up top of Mount Andromeda. Now, usually what happens if a cirque glacier melts away, up in that basin, a little lake is left behind. We call them Tarn lakes. Now, if anyone had a chance to go up to Lake Louise and take that hike up to Lake Agnes, where the tea house is, that's exactly how Lake Agnes was formed. Cirque glacier melted away, left behind a Tarn lake in the Alpine region. To put it all into perspective for you, this glacier is about 6 kilometers long, it's about 4 miles, 1 kilometer wide, that's about 2/3 of a mile, and the thickest part of the ice, well, we're going to be standing on it right out here. It's about 1,000 feet thick, about 300 meters. So this is a pretty good sized boat.
This is on the Athabasca Glacier. This is the snowmobile we came up on. This is Carol. And she sees. But directly in front is the Columbia ice field. The Athabasca Glacier is just a glacial runoff of the major ice field. The ice we're standing on is about 1,000 feet thick. The dirt along the side that you see is really just dirt covering the ice. There are crevices cut in it. You can see the ice below, but the dirt that insulates it too.
No, I know it. I'm going to have to... There's old JR walking around and trying to show that he's here too. He's there to take my pictures. We have some proof of each other here. Windy up here. You can't see it until you get out. Oh, that's a good shot of him now. As you can see, there's all kinds of other people. They have these big snowmobiles up here. They give us 20 minutes to walk around. This is the turnaround. Can't believe it. Didn't realize there'd be so many people walking around on the glacier. What?
Artist over there.
Jim just pointed out to me there's an artist over there on the glacier, and he's painting. Let's see if I can bring him in. Wait a minute, don't go too far away.
These are crevices cut by the water. This is the flow. The glacier recedes because of melting about 10% each year. They're 10 feet, I'm sorry, 10 feet each year. It had been a couple of hundred years ago receding at the rate of 30 feet per year. So the global warming things that we hear about kind of affect us exactly as we think they are. Along the glacier, all the folks who came up with the snowmobiles, they're here now. Some are drinking the water, and some are just walking around, ranging out. And ice 1,000 feet thick. It's probably something like 8,000 years old. More snowmobiles have come up since we got here. There's 4 of us up here now.
He began the first mechanized tours out on the Athabasca Glacier, so they're basically a spin-off of those military maneuvers. This area is also very famous for mountain climbing. Literally hundreds of climbers annually will come out to this area to tackle the surrounding peaks, as well as the person alone on top of a mountain. I mean, that's the rule number 1 you would never do. So the person becomes distraught. She could have wandered off and fallen off a cliff or anything up there. So it cost us Canadian taxpayers, by the way, about $15,000 for search and rescue. And the irony of this story, by the way, the 2 male climbers were Parks Canada employees. Obviously, it is. So. I'll tell you a story about a couple of weeks ago with me and my big mouth. I was any problem going up this hill. The women and children will disembark and the men go up with the ship.
We can climb this hill.
It's my policy, by the way. Six sisters, Clementon as a child. Still in. It's okay though, I haven't had any flashbacks for a few weeks. Now, for those of you that did drink that aphrodisiac water, if you're finding the effects are hitting you, down the left of that red roof building known as the Chalet, it rents rooms by the hour. That's why we painted it red.
Look at that road.
The weight is the killer, isn't it?
This peak is almost already...
Yeah, it makes you realize just how steep this is. Lumbering until you have to. Give her a go. Now as we go up this hill, down in the valley there on the left, you'll see where all that aphrodisiac water ends up into. That is Samwapta Lake. Now Samwapta is a Stoney Indian term. And you can see that turbulent river flowing from the lake there. Now,
Get a whole different perspective.
Yep.
Now, 5 minutes to 9, mountain time. We just came out of the restaurant. That's not snow, those are rocks over there. I just thought I'd take a shot of this sun. There's been a storm moved in, there's been rain, clouds. I even heard thunder earlier, lightning, saw lightning. But I thought it'd be nice to take the contrast of the cloudy sky and the sunshine that still is peeping through there on the mountains. Some glaciers over there in the distance. to add to the interest also is the rainbow high in the mountains. Perspective. Glaciers are really interesting. Rain in the Rockies too. We're still coming into more of it here. I hope we aren't going to have rain all the way back. We're going to drive back to the trailer in Radium Springs tonight.
A beautiful lake, huh?
Gorgeous.
Is this Bow Lake?
I think, no, this wasn't Bow Lake. Bow Lake had some accommodations on it, and this one. Left our hotel in Banff. And we're just driving to the streets now. We're going to stop downtown. This is Friday, August 6th. This is a town or city that's right in the middle of the park. Today is Sunday, August 8th. And we're going to make a left turn up here. We're going right up that hill between all of those places over there. And on up into Kootenai National Park again, and into the, hopefully, the hot springs. We're going to check and see what those are like. We had breakfast there, and we had dinner the other night there at the old Salzburg restaurant. A lot of Alpine styling in the hotels here, the buildings. There's a place up on the hill up there, which is a motel. Don't know which one it is, but it's a motel.
Chalet Motel.
Chalet Motel. He's so funny. Motel Tyrol. Here's the Alpen Motel right here. Isn't that something? Guess there's nothing too unique about that one. Kootenai National Park. There's the gate again. I think we may have done this the other day, but I don't think I had the camera ready in time. So we have to stop here and check the pass. Sorry guys, we're not going far enough. I'm not sure I got a picture of this the other day, so I thought I'd better do it again.
I think this is what they call Sinclair Pass also.
Must be.
Radium Hot Springs Spa. There's Grandma standing up above. We've been down in and we've just come out. This down here is one of the pools. This is a cooler pool. This pool here is about 83 degrees. Or 80 degrees, we'll put it that way. Down this spot, I'll get a picture of it. I think I got it, so I want to go ahead and shoot it again.
You don't have to put that on the recording here.
This is a pool. This is about 80 degrees. It's deeper. This pool is This pool here is all hot water. I'm sure they use it in the wintertime too. You can see the size of it. It's huge. It's only 1 meter deep all the way around, or just over 3 feet, 3.5 feet roughly. And the temperature in the pool is like 103 degrees. Now that's after it's cooled somewhat. It's all naturally heated. It comes from a radium spring someplace, and I popped one of the input ports, and it was quite hot. But you see, some of it gets cooled somewhat by the atmosphere. The sign tells us that it's Radium Hot Springs. And the lodge is up there. Radium Hot Springs Lodge is parked up above. While we were in the pool, we were treated by a parade of mountain goats that came down this mountainside, cut across this area here, and across this rock paved area into this lawn up here. We're grazing this lawn. There were a bunch of them that laid around for a while and finally took off and went back up the mountainside through this side of the wall in house that you see up there.
What I'm trying to do is get a picture of the lifeguard shirt. I can't quite make it. It says lifeguard on the back of it, and then underneath it is the French, just as everything else is around here. It's S-A-U-V-E-T-E-U-R. Sauveteur. Base of the hot spring. No idea whether that water is hot or cold. And there's the building that we just came out of. Of course, the pool are down in there just beyond those two gentlemen walking there. Back in the United States, crossing the lake, Orville Lake, on the way to Coeur d'Alene. Already. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll just let her waddle through the snow here. Vancouver. We've got some friends in Vancouver to visit. And then we're going to stop in Redding. We'll go up and look at the property up there. So she's
Bernie Falls, the Trinity River, and we did a lot in Bernie Falls, and then the other was where the last guy on the bridge in the earthquake died from that they found, and he lived for about 8 days. That made that town famous.
Yeah. Starts with the W. Watsonville?
Sounds good.
Yeah, Watsonville.
Yeah, sounds good.
Marcy?
Yeah, then we're going to go from there. We're going to go down to the Sacramento area, and then maybe hop over the mountain back to Las Vegas.
This is Wenapum Lake in Washington, about 35 miles east of Ellensburg. On our way back towards Seattle. I think that's the bridge. We crossed that bridge.
You think so?
I think so. Oh, JR crossed it, but looks like we're going to be crossing it.
Old JR isn't always right,
Oh boy, do I have that on record.
but he's seldom wrong.
It's Friday the 13th, August 13th.
Uncle Bill's birthday.
Uncle Bill's birthday. This is the Columbia River.
Mighty Columbia.
Well, I don't know where I got to Wanapum Lake, but there was a Wanapum Lake dam there too, and it just shows that maybe this is the lake that was formed as a result of the dam on the river. There on that hill, right next to the lake, river, whatever you want to call it.
That doesn't work very well, see?
There's a red light, I see it. Let's go out to the car.
Oh,
Red light.
I would never let this weather
I
scare
think
us.
she has a better appreciation for it
She does.
now. Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Keeps you young looking.
oh yeah.
All right, take care.
Take care, Pete. Love you.
Yeah, love you too. Bye.
So long.
Turn that thing on.
There's the Tacoma Dome over there. Who plays in the dome, Jim?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Isn't it one of the ball teams? I
No,
mean,
that's in Seattle.
oh, I see.
Both the Mariners and the
Okay. Well, the
Dodgers play there.
Rockets hockey play here, evidently. This is Wednesday, August 18th. And we're not going to Mount Rainier, but there's the next indicating to Mount Rainier. We're going our way to pick up the ferry at Port Angeles on what island? Olympia Island.
Olympic Peninsula.
Olympic Peninsula. Okay, I got it right yet. No island, just peninsula, but it's the closest point that we can get to take a ferry to Victoria. And that's where we're going. Victoria's in Canada on Vancouver Island.
That's Byron and Old Church.
Yep. Some body of water right now. I have the name of Tacoma Narrows. It's a strong wind. We're traveling actually on going to be traveling on an isthmus. Water on both sides of us. On our way up, we'll be passing Bremerton. Hopefully I'm going to get some pictures of Bremerton. Isn't that where your ship was, Jim?
Yep.
How many years ago was that?
1955. You figure it out. Almost 40 years ago.
See, if I take pictures, then I don't notice how high up I am. But if I start looking down, then I know it. Bremerton area, I don't think we're going to get into actually Bremerton itself, but we may be able to see something. We're going around the Sinclair Inlet right now.
We'll go toward the Hood Canal Bridge.
Hood Canal Bridge, right. We'll be heading toward that to take that across to Port Angeles. There's the Sinclair Inlet right there. We just came around. No bridge crossing it, you gotta go around it. It's like mud flats there.
I don't know if we'll be able to see the shipyards.
I don't think so, unless we get up on an upper level someplace that we can look down on them. Up there.
Yeah, that's where the big ships.
It's where old JR reported to the Toledo when he went aboard way back in the 50s.
ships out there. Ones they are. Turn away from this notice. Big parking lot for ships.
Parking lot for ships, he says.
That would have been nuclear ballistics.
They're clearing here for the road expansion. We're back on a 2-lane road right now, and it looks like it's going to be 4-lane someday. They still have to clear out all of this trees here to expand this to make it a 4-lane. Be prepared to stop. More road work here. That goes to Kingston, where we took the ferry once before, and there's the Hood Canal Bridge. Gotcha! Says watch for slow or stopped vehicles. And this is the Hood Canal. What about that? How about that? Get in here. We're going off to this side. Traffic coming the other direction comes around the other side.
Kick here is a fishing hole.
It's a fishing hole? Yeah, okay.
Big moves. It opens up to let ships go by. And once we cross this bridge, we will be on the Olympic Peninsula.
Headed toward Port Angeles.
Here, so it's all the way. See, that's another reason I said let's get
We left early enough. Our ferry doesn't leave from Port Angeles until 12:45, and right now it's not quite 9:15.
Nice meeting.
We're going to pick up the ferry down in there someplace to go to Victoria. We're going to be turning here in just a minute. We're in for Angeles right now. In fact, we just dropped off Andrew's and Kirsten's birthday presents at the post office. And Bruce's birthday card, too. Here we go to the BC ferries, British Columbia ferries. Thursday the 19th of August, and we're right now traveling through, and I'm going to be leaving soon, Vancouver, Washington. This is home of Ben and Ruth Gunlocks.
As soon as we cross the bridge, we'll be in Oregon.
Yes.
Looks to me like the bridge is right in front of us.
Yep, we're going, that's it right there, I think. We're going to be crossing the Columbia River, which separates Washington and Oregon. Here we go with our trusty bicycles up in the front. The hood. There we go. We met him before on the road, too. Left the bridge, and we're going directly into Portland, Oregon. That seems to be alright now. I don't know what was happening to the camera just a minute ago. We're going to be coming back this way to visit, hopefully, with Ben and Ruth. The other city, big city with all its maze of freeway over ramps.
Grandpa will be glad to get out of it.
Yeah, and Grandpa will be glad to get out of it. Well, city like all cities. Looks like the weather's not too good around here either. There's a couple of interesting structures up ahead there. Spires of some sort. Looks like the buildings of Portland. We're going to lose them again. Structures that I took from a distance before.
See?
Looks like they're part of an arena.
Stupid shits. They get over in the left-hand way. They've had plenty of warning that there's going to be a
there we go.
Battery school or I believe or something. Came up with it.
I mean, the ship did. But you weren't aboard.
I wasn't.
There we go again. Just thought I'd leave it running. Looks like we don't have to go through it anyhow. There's the river.
Maybe we should have taken that
The bypass.
bypass.
Well, that's hindsight now. It's too late now, anyhow, so here we are. It's still just a continuation of mazes of
I guess these
ramps,
bridges,
overpasses.
bridges are all drawbridges too, see?
Yep, they are.
Ships up. Continue on the same.
Oh my goodness, we're crossing. Holy shoot.
Get over. That
area. We don't actually go into the city, I don't think. We'll probably circumvent it. Salem is the capital of Oregon. We're going to be getting into an RV space right next door. Not that we're looking for all this amusement, but it's a coast-to-coast park for us. As you can see, there it is, the entrance to Forest Glen RV Park. Sunday, the 22nd, and we're about midway through Oregon right now. Of course, this is Bruce. We've been climbing now for several miles. We have a 6-mile climb altogether. As you can see, the road is still going up and up and up. We've been able to pass some trucks, but not by much. This is Wednesday, August 25th, and we're about ready to leave Oregon. Right now we're only about 5 miles from the California-Oregon state line. We're at Mount Ashland. Beautiful country.
In the Siskiyous.
In the Siskiyous, yes. Early in the morning, just before 9 o'clock. It says up ahead there, long, steep downgrade ahead. So we had a long climb up, and now we're going to have a long downgrade.
That homosexuality is a normal alternative lifestyle. I talked to our psychiatrist, and I asked her, I said, "How did you vote for that?" And she said to me, "You know something?" She said, "Half the people in that audience did not know that was coming up for a vote. They pulled that off just before lunch when half of us were gone."
I don't think we got that on here, but Jim just said 6 miles up and 7 miles down. This is Siskiyou Summit right now. Here we're going down. Now it's going to have to be just as... probably more so. Seven miles of 6% downgrade. Gorgeous though, isn't it? When you look at it just aesthetically only. Snow-capped mountain peak over there, which I don't know what it is for sure, but it could be Mount Shasta. Lost it now. Guys on their way up. They got you coming and going here, huh?
What road?
There are the two roads. You can see them over there. One going down, one coming up.
Sliding out a little bit down there.
Yeah, one have a full total downgrade. Thank goodness to give you some relief, I guess. And then our next stop is going to be in Redding. And then we're going to take a trip over to the Montgomery Creek property while we're staying there.
California has been the #1 agricultural state in the nation for 39 years. One important reason is that California is relatively free of insect pests, plant diseases, and exotic weeds. Thousands of people come to California each day. Some return home from vacation, others are visitors or business people. Some are new residents.
We're pulling off at a rest area right now. There it is, right over there. Difficult to imagine where they would put it here in the mountains, but Klamath River Highway goes off that way to the right. Crossing the Klamath River now.
Well, here's where you got Solid 5 right here, and this is a rest area right here.
That's correct, yeah. Well, it's easy enough. The only thing is getting back out again, you're going to have an upgrade, but had that before.
I figured it was up.
Shasta, there she is merging a little bit closer here for us to view. Still going to be kind of hazy though because of the way the sun is hitting it. Shasta coming and going here, huh?
NASA officials are hoping to get the cosmic signal they've been waiting for today. Engineers have been trying to communicate with the Mars observer since losing contact with the spacecraft Saturday. Alan Wood at the Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena says the retroactivity 1,242 days.
There she is, Mount Shasta, 14,100 feet.
Just happened. I was just walking back in the studio after taking a break. We had a little intern out there in the newsroom from and
here it
she's
is,
taking
August,
English
though.
lessons from Curtis.
End of August. Snow is still there. Are those glaciers, Jim?
So I was introduced to her.
So.
She was very nice. Of course, nice and gracious, pleasant as I always am.
Nope.
I was walking back in here to the palatial. You just, but I pointed this out. You effectively raised somebody's rates when you lowered the value of a deduction. So you who've looked for Collier people who don't know what it is. All right, well, these 401k plans, or Keto plans, is up for whatever. It's a 401k plan, and we want you to make some money. Save for your own retirement. And we'll let you deduct everything that you put in and give you a maximum amount of your paycheck. I think it's 10%. I'm not sure. I forget the percentage. Well, IRAs will simply
Small Crystal Lake, right. What I can get of it.
Well, I got into a lot of trouble the other day, Juanita. I was walking down the hall here after a program. I was walking back to my office. And,
it still seems to be down. It said in the book review, Shasta Lake, right down there. That's another arm of the lake. There, and then over here is another marina. I don't know how much of that I was able to get. We're coming up out of here again.
Look at us putting up
There.
to it.
Yes, well, there's a lot of houseboating on the lake. Still taking pictures of the lake here. Well, you were right, James. We do get to see more of it. Yes, I thought that what we saw back there before was about all it was going to be. But
See the crossing.
yeah, well, see, I
looked at it on the map.
didn't see it crossing twice. I saw it right. Look at that. Now this is the part that I remembered. The more expansive area.
There's a French crossing.
Yes. That's the highway traveling right there. Shasta Lake. There's a houseboat down there. Yeah. Sure would have company, that's for sure. There's one towing a power boat. Yeah, that looks exciting, doesn't it? Nothing wrong with going on the Shasta instead of Lake Powell in Utah. Beautiful. And there's sandbar there, though. Stay away from it. Yeah. We're on one of the streets through Reading right now, and we just happened to hit the railroad crossing at the right time here. So hence we see a train with all these trucks. What do you call them? Semis. Trailers on them.
Semi-trailers. What do I smell?
Probably exhaust from... Well, that's the end of that. We can go on about our business. It's now 1:30. We're all set up in the trailer.
Market doesn't move very far, does it?
Going to 299 East in just a minute. There's the exit right there to Fernie and Old Taurus. Montgomery Creek on the way. To the top of the hill there. It's the park that we're staying in. I just got a real quick glimpse of it. That's 299 East.
Construction ahead.
That's construction, dear. Construction.
Road's moving on, it's been destruction.
There's Shasta College. Headed this way.
We're Bruce Criminology.
Criminology? Is that right?
Shasta College.
How about that?
Cop. Great.
You're getting a picture of the new bridge going across the creek. Oh, I see what you mean about the Montgomery Creek.
This is our property, right here. It starts right
Oh,
here.
right
It's
here?
all ours.
This is ours here?
Yep. Huh?
I said I didn't have it running. It wasn't recording. I guess the best thing to do is to just stop sometime, place and...
Well, I want to find the road. I'm looking for the road. It's got all this trash in it right now, so I can't find the road. Yeah. There was a road that ran across through there too, down below. I think
It's so touchy.
we're up on the property up above, and I'm shooting down into our property, and you can see the stuff that's still left. There's plenty of scabs left, and the place is dirty. I mean, really dirty. All of it needs to be cleared out. It's scaggy. If this is looking from up above our property down, Bruce will be, you'll know, here's the store at Montgomery Creek is over here. This is sweeping down along the creek. It's up on the road past the gate where our property ends. So they had some pretty heavy equipment down in there. I think this is where Bruce and Christina thought about building a home right about in this spot here, yeah. Seems to me that was the spot they had selected. See, these trees they skimmed all down through this area. Pick the trees out.
Tell him, Charlie. Get down. Here's a sneak preview of the Indian Wrestling Day. It's time to kick.
August 26th, this is Andrew's birthday. And right now we're on our way up to Montgomery Creek again. I'm giving you a full picture. New battery, I ran out of power yesterday. This is going to be all of the fire damage through these hills. And this is just the beginning of it. We haven't even come to Round Mountain yet, or Montgomery Creek. Shocking, isn't it? This is Round Mountain. Not around the mountain, but round the mountain. There's excavation. We're going to be looking for Paul Warner right now. his children.
I'm not going to go to the store first. Why should I?
The friends that was home, we were working out of town. And they're what saved us both times.
Yeah. Well, we had a bridge in there, and the bridge burned out, but the power company's rebuilt it, I see now, and it's back up in there.
I'm going to let you go ahead and go in
All right,
there.
fine, thanks.
Road to the property. I just took a picture of the bridge from up on the road. This is all the road. This is taking it right from the beginning again. Just like yesterday, but I want to make sure we got a full shots. Beautiful manzanita that's gone.
And
There's the bridge.
yeah, and which comes across too.
Oh, the gate is there, which
Oh.
means
It may. If you get out and lock it up, all right?
yeah. Take your keys. Are you gonna see what you can do?
Yeah, but if there's no key and it's locked, it's stuff like that.
Well, I might not be able to get everything. We didn't get here early enough before the workers left. Construction workers up on the hill. That house that they're building up there. There's Montgomery Creek. Of the bridge. I'm leaning on the railing right now. Quite a drop over there. I'd hate to get caught in there and get a free slide. Water slide. Kind of rough though, you might not make it to the bottom. This really makes it look strange. It looks like you're right on top of it now. Put yourself there now, please.
Somebody should give us access.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
This is looking at the property from the bridge, as you can see. And on the right, we're having to walk because the gate is locked. Yesterday it was open because we were here earlier and there were workers still at the house up on the hill, which you'll see in just a few minutes here. Whose house? Carlton's house on the hill. We'll assume the power company put the gate on with the lock, but we'll have to find out. It just sticks. Just sticks now. What little stuff?
All this stuff right here.
I think that's new growth, Jim. I think that's new growth.
These burned trees. They did not touch the little stuff down here.
Oh, I thought you meant the fire didn't touch it. You didn't say. But you're talking about the fire. Of course they didn't. So we said they're very selective about what they took. You can see the regeneration of the, mainly the oak trees here. It'll be many years before they get their full growth again, because the old stuff's going to have to come down, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that's handled. Did you just leave it there for the memory of a tragedy? No, this isn't going to be too good. I'm going to be filming here right against the sun. I'll do what he can. Jim said there has been wildlife through here. There are deer tracks down there. What's that?
There are deer tracks in here. There's something else in here too.
I'm
a dog, but it could have been another patted animal. Probably. That's claw-like over there. That's probably a raccoon.
Sure wish I had seen this before the fire. Said this is not our property here, but so I take a picture of it across the way just to show how bare, stark. It must have been so pretty. Come to the fork in the road. This is the easement road, of course. Go right there's the fork of the road. I'm not going up any higher. I want to give you an overall picture right from this point. Pretty messy, isn't it? But you haven't seen all of it yet. You can see where some of it's been, they've come in and done some work, but they've left a big mess, I think. There, and on that hill over there. Very selective about the logs that they took. I would say not much cleanup. Still really very messy. And we're back to our starting point here. There's a lot more of it to be seen up there. We took some pictures yesterday. I'm not going to try and walk up any farther right now. There's, of course, the power lines over there. I'm going to start walking down now. Got it on my shoulder now. I don't know how I'm doing, but it's a little easier to handle with it this way. Hope it's coming through okay. Yeah, I think it seems to be working out all right. I'll go like this for a while. So I give you a good picture all the way down the road here as I move along. It's amazing the trees you can see over there on the hill across the road. They're still green. Fire didn't touch it. But you look up even higher up on the ridge there. Fire was in there, but this is whole one area right in there. The green area. Nature's wonder, quote unquote.
See, this is burned up in here. In that area.
Yeah. Let me get this one first here. And this is the oak here, right?
Yeah, this is oak.
Uh-huh.
And you can see it. You can see it regenerating. See? This is oak here. These are all oak shoots that are coming up from the roots. And they're all through here. If you look all through here, it's all that way.
Yeah, I was shooting some of them. I shot some pictures of some of them.
See, there's an oak they cut down over there. They took, or at least cut down, maybe because to get in. And you notice how it's, the whole thing, all around the stump.
Yeah, around the stump itself, right there.
But I just peeled some of the bark off this tree here.
This is the top of the road, the top of the hill, leaving the property. And we notice this is just to the left of the road. And there's indications of underground power utilities over there. So wait until this gets in focus. Come on, focus up there. Okay, we're going to get you in focus yet. All right, again. There we go, that's better. A little bit closer. Okay? You got that? Alright. Over and out. There's some more of that manzanita that's burned out. Shocking, isn't it? It's beautiful. Bush just burned out. House over there on the top of that hill. I was trying to film before from the property. To show you how the fire skipped. Some areas completely burned and then others just still very green. Didn't even get through. lot of clearing out there. It's done. There's an area that was heavily burned, but it's cleared. Like that's really cleared out. There's a truck full of logs there. Fire through there. Look at all of that. All of the hills over there. Like right straight through here. It didn't touch these. You can see right here all burned out and green almost right next door. Sorry. Tress. Yeah, I know. That's what I remembered. That's why I wanted to make sure I got it. This is just some of it. The eeriness of it.
Like a drive.
What your hand can go down below just for a little bit, or even right here. You put it up on top, your arm, your whole arm gets in the line of the camera. I can't help it.